This video is sponsored by Carnivore Companion. Check out our newly released seasoning steak dust, along with our flagship seasoning smokestack and our bestseller Tuck Collagen. Use the code CCYouTube10 at CarnivoreCompanion.com to save 10% off your first order. Hey there, my meaty friends. This is Reed, aka CarnivorousChef, aka Ribeye Prime. I've been wanting to do a prime rib video for a while now, and I'm happy to finally be doing this. This is just a technique that takes ribeye to a different level. It's super simple to make and makes the best leftovers if you have any left. I make this beast with homemade blackened seasoning, but feel free to go as simple as you want. I'm lucky to have access to full ribeye loins in the restaurant. This gives me full control of how big I want my prime rib to be. I'm shooting for 3 pounds. Well, I'll make that 4 pounds. Since I'm only using this piece of the loin, I'm going to help the grill cook out and get some of her prep done by cutting steaks. And just like that, 11 12-ounce steaks left. The first step we want to do for this beauty is to pat it dry with paper towels. Being in the cryovac packaging helps the blood cling on pretty well, so we just want to get rid of that. Oh shit, I forgot to preheat the oven. Frantically go over to your oven and turn it to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. If you have a convection oven, that's awesome. I'll leave details on how to cook this in a convection and conventional oven. Since we're now waiting on our oven to preheat, let's make this blackened seasoning. Let's grab some smoked paprika, 3 tablespoons worth. Some granulated garlic, 1 tablespoon worth. Some granulated onion, 1 tablespoon worth. Some hand pepper, 2 teaspoons worth. Some dried thyme, 1 teaspoon worth. Some cayenne, 1 teaspoon worth. And finally, the best salt on earth in the form of 1 tablespoon. Come in like Patrick Swayze and give this a passionate forking. If you don't have a hotel pan, grab a deep baking dish. Place down a wire rack and then your ribeye roast on it. Now all you're going to want to do here is heavily season on all sides. Take your time and use as much of the seasoning as it needs. I probably use 3/4 of my recipe. If you're just using salt, you'll likely feel like you're using a grotesque amount. That's fine because it needs it. Place this into your oven for about 20 minutes per pound if using a convection oven. If using a conventional oven, I'd go about 23 to 25 minutes per pound. Either way, once your time is up, let this rest in the oven, turned off for about 30 minutes. Once it's out of the oven, give it a poke in admiration. I was shooting for mine to be about 128 degrees in the center, but I unfortunately ran out of time. I also was only able to let this rest for about 10 minutes before having to get slicing. So it's still a bit raw in the very middle. I'm not bothered by it personally, but you may be. Anyways, slice this up into about 1/2-inch slices and serve it up. I purposely didn't do any sauces because I was already short on time. Feel free to use some au jus or horseradish sauce if you want. Let's take this first bite, which is from my Patreon community. If you're interested in joining, the link is in the description. This blackened seasoning turned out pretty fire. Not just because it's spicy, but because it complements the fattiness of the ribeye. I could sit here and try to eat this whole thing, but I've really got to get going. I'll have to put this in a takeout box. You can complement the fattiness of a ribeye too if you like the video and subscribe to the channel.